Draconis or Draconis Mons, otherwise known as the Dragon's Mountain, in my opinion, it's a pretty zone. It's got some good views, a lot of climbing, and some extremely hot water. I mean, the kind that just takes your breath away. Forever. Yeah, don't go in the water. Anyway, this zone can be frustrating for the newcomers and for those without the proper mounts to navigate. Yes, you get the little buffs or the little vine things that you pick up, and you have your glider, you can hop around, but they can be hard to work with as well. There are a lot of events in this map, and honestly, one of the hardest parts of it is trying to get to those events before they finish. You have people calling it out in map chat, and I'm there. The event's already done. Mob killings, and especially the champions that spawn. So much time is wasted moving from point A to point B, you can easily miss out. And speaking of missing out, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, as it will help the channel greatly and is much appreciated. Now, back to our action. My suggestion when you first arrive to Draconis Mons is yes, you gotta follow the story, of course. If you haven't unlocked everything and you're just going through it the first time, take it in, enjoy yourself, get through the story. But if you can, go through all the different waypoints, because this will really help you navigate through everything. It gives you an anchor, a point of reference, so you're not just aimlessly wandering around trying to navigate through this place, but you can quickly get out of combat and get to a waypoint in case you're trying to catch an event. We got worms. Yeah, worms, pretty popular thing in this game. It's a nice little event, you get some good loot off of it. Make sure you use the ranged weapon. You can use a melee if you want, but range just happens to work better, at least in my opinion. Craziest Sir in Tech. Now, if you're going through some of these events, some of them are chained, so if you do happen to finish one with like a bunch of mobs, don't just run off into the sunset quite yet, fly off, whatever, because generally there's a champion to fight at the end, then you can fully finish it and get all the fat loots, right? Big spiders, we already saw that. Draconis Mons has plenty to keep you entertained and captivated while you're here. Having a rough time? Pick an orchid. Well, why would you pick an orchid? Well, because you can buy stuff with flowers, silly. Just like the other Season 3 maps, you do have the currency, the Unbound Magic, and you can spend it at the vendor, as well as the specific map currency, this time being the orchid that is offered here. I like it. It's a nice little pretty aesthetic, and it's something different than just a lump of metal or a lump of wood. You get a nice pretty flower. As I mentioned before, there's a lot of just running around in this map trying to find events. They're pretty basic, pretty straightforward. It's just finding them. Traveling's the hard part, like always in this map. But the meta only has a few phases to it. First, you kill some destroyers, you take out the fishers, and there's champions with them you have to eliminate as well. And then finally, after that, you go to 2 different spots near where all the hot boiling water is, and you find lieutenants. Those are like your legendary monsters you have to fight. You beat both of them, and that's pretty much it. It's nothing complex, nothing too crazy, but it's there, so get it done. One final thing to remember about this map is a little way to get extra currency, because who doesn't love extra loot, am I right? It's a consumable item that you get called the Ancient Asuran Power Source, and they kind of work like the shovels from the Silver Waste. If you happen to be familiar with that, you use it, and then you get this ability where you press it, and it gives you like a little beacon that you follow. You just keep tapping it until you find the spot where the treasure spawns. Once you get close enough to it, the loot will appear, and you just loot it. And it's pretty decent, so don't miss out on them when you get a chance. They'll appear in your inventory, just use them. Well, that's really all I have for you today in Draconis Mons. It could be pretty fun. You know, there's some more stuff to see, some puzzles and things like the other events and collections and, you know, achievement points, so on and so forth. So come on down and enjoy it for yourself. If you don't mind a walk, jump, fly, port, you get the point.